What's up, everybody? Welcome to day 772. Also, it's only because this shirt's a little tight, but it makes my arm look way more muscular than it actually is. I'm very skinny. But welcome to day 772 of eating a sheet of paper a day. And I will not forget to stream, but also not forget to put my score for the day in. Also, I best not forget to talk too loud. Or no, what the fuck am I saying? Not talk too quiet, right? Does that make any, it's late. Does the logic make sense on that? Yes. I don't want to talk too loud, so I will talk quiet to not talk too loud. I will not forget to that's like a triple negative. That's too confusing. What the hell? Well, that made my day a little worse, but despite that, my day is still a nice strong 6.7 out of 10. Not too bad. I promised someone at Pizza Port I'd stream, and also it's a promise to myself and to everybody else. This isn't just about one person; it's about everybody. But it reminded me about everybody else, and I'm like, fuck. Even if nobody watches the stream, at least they'll play it back and they'll see me whispering to myself. It's an ASMR video. Shh. But as long as I keep making it a habit, until, of course, it's proven that the paper is the reason I have asthma or some stupid medical related shit. But that has not been concretely proven yet. So here I go. I'm still doing this in my own professional, relatively safe way. Way better than day 1 through 8, where I was just yanking like half a sheet per bite, and I was like moaning and groaning with pain as it was going down. And that's a very hard phase of the stream to watch. Just pretend that didn't happen. Oh. Okay. I could very easily make a pre-recorded, but I believe I'm in different form. I'm at that point in my life where I get to shoot above and beyond, surpass all expectations. Thank you, and you're welcome. We got our first viewer. 2 minutes and 15 seconds in. It's actually quite timely for it being basically 1 in the morning. How are you doing? You don't need to answer that question, by the way. In case you missed it, which you don't need to miss it, you can just play it back anyways, but I'm gonna beat the bush. Wait, what does that mean? It's so fucking late. I'm gonna beat the bush, guys. I'm not gonna beat around the bush, and I'm gonna beat the dead horse. There you go. That's the correct term. I'm gonna tell you right now that I was talking about being diligent, all right? And even though I'm clearly not being very diligent with my vocabulary because it's late and I'm tired and I just worked a stupid, how long was my shift? Wasn't even that long. We actually cleaned up pretty quickly. In fact, I think this was the quickest close we've ever. This is the quickest close, tongue twister, I guess. This is the quickest close we've had in years, quite literally years. So I'm really proud of all of us, but mainly me. But I could not have done it without the help of Chris. So on the off chance that you chose this one stream to watch, which it's not, it's Leo. How we doing? You poo. How close is the P key to the H key? Nope. Okay. Apparently you did not intend to type you who. You were really going for you poo. I like that. Thank you. That just bumped my day up to a 6.8. The reason it's relatively low is because of the last thing that I talked about on the last stream, which was this whole stupid situation with this girl who I gotta fucking let go of. And I actually made a concrete decision. It's just that, like, listen, if this person told me to buzz off, then, like, then it'd be easy. But she's like, when we get back, we're gonna talk. Proceeds to not talk and intentionally changes her work schedule to avoid me. Okay. Women can't live with them, can't live without them. So I think that it's time to disengage. So, Brian the player. Yeah, I played and I fucking lost. It's did not end well. If you want all the greasy details, you just go to the previous stream, day 771. It's a shit show and it's a terrible stream because I'm just yapping the whole time. Yeah, I know it's weird, but hey, if I was insignificant and if I guess I wasn't a player and I didn't accrue points, then my worth would not be enough to uproot your life. Or maybe it's a total coincidence. No, it's fucking not. There's no fucking way. So, really annoying. Just wish people could be more upfront with me. How can you not be honest with a guy as unintimidating as this? Come on. I just don't understand it. But whatever, I'm sure this is just her projecting her insecurities about like her father or something. So, I am still attached because I got a heart, but I now know what to do. I made a concrete decision. So, mm, it'll be difficult, but knowing that it's difficult, that's like the first step, isn't it? It's like the first and most important step because now I'm disengaged. Hope she has fun with her life because if she can't communicate with people on a basic level like this, especially when my initiation, that terrible, very flawed, yet still well intentioned 8.5 minute long YouTube video, the aim was to encourage further conversation, even though it was not as clearly communicated. But any sane person would have still responded to that by not ghosting somebody for a fucking month. So, like, listen, man, I'm not going to say it's all her fault, but at all the problems that I contributed to this situation could have been very easily solved by a simple conversation in real life, which she never bothered to do, which is gay. If you are ever a girl with boobs or a guy in a similar feminine situation, don't do that, all right? That'll make your boobs much smaller. It'll make you a lot less appealing. That'll proverbially flatten you to someone else. Mm. With that said, I still do like her. But there are many more people to like, all right? We got to get over ourselves because we don't need nobody but ourselves. I don't need nobody but me. And I stay true to who I am, which is a occasionally awkward but very bold and very concerning retard. And I'm proud of that. I'm proud of who I am. And if you don't like me for it, and if you don't allow for me to make a clarifying conversation, because I've been saving all of my clarifications and my splaining for when she's able to reciprocate off me and me off her instead of just me sending her a non-reciprocal 8-minute YouTube video with a bunch of bullshit in it, right? That wasn't a clear representation. But she doesn't deserve a proper representation of my feelings towards her if she won't even allow me to openly communicate, especially when the video I made was pointing out how communication was already fucked from the get-go. So, all my fault, my left asshole. Totally not. I'm sorry. I'm just so sorry to stand my ground. But this thing has been grilling me because she's been fucking making my work life hell by gossiping to all the coworkers, and I cannot even enter to get I can't even pay for a scoop of gelato because it's like I'm not 86, but I kind of am 86. It's like kind of like a you're not welcome here. It's like, yeah, okay, what do you want? Buy. It's like all that for a scoop of gelato that I can get a better version of at Baskin Robbins. Sorry. No. All right. Sorry. Let me just catch up on chat. This girl tonight was yelling at me tonight because we ain't cool, but we used to be friends, and she was just being a butthead. I hope this is not someone I know. I don't think so. I only know like two of the other people, other females that you know. So, um, yeah, whatever. Um, that's like the plot to a kindergartner's movie. But yeah, no, I think that that's good. Just don't be attached to her. Don't be emotionally attached to her. Don't have feelings for anybody because apparently that'll fucking hook you and it'll drag you down. She's the anchor and you're the capsized ship. We locked in. We are not locked in. I'm in the process of getting locked. It's just the key's broken. Let's go to the locksmith and buy a new key. We're still working on that. 2 days ago, I was talking with a homeless guy and she said, I ain't no hate. Wait, what? Okay, hold on. Let me just actually process this and read it again. Give me a second. 2 days ago. 2 days ago, I was talking with a homeless guy and he said, I ain't no hater of love, but I ain't that's just rambling. That's schizophrenic rambling. I'm sure he got that from a fucking movie he watched 50 years ago. And that shit was so fire. I mean, I'm sure it was, but it wasn't the hobo who said it. It was probably like Al Pacino in some movie that he watched when he was like 10. But yeah, I ain't no hater of love, but I also ain't no sucker of yeah. As you know, it's the constant battle for emotional neutrality in a world where one can only help but be emotionally turbulent. And being emotionally turbulent is the antithesis of being emotionally neutral. Neutrality, to me, the type of neutrality I speak of, is a lack of real emotion because emotion is a radical propellant onto one side, one feeling. And if you don't have that, then that's what neutrality is. So to me, true neutrality is absence of feeling. And that's the absence of humanity. So I understand the quote, "It's badass," up to a point when you actually start thinking about it, so I get it. Mm, homeless people be preaching something. That guy probably overdosed on opiates in between the time Ian heard this shit and now. So, I wish him best of luck. Wish he should have written a poetry book or something. Mesethula's locked in. Hey, cheers. Thanks for being the one guy on stream who consoled me when I was still figuring out what decision to make about the um not gonna name any names because I still respect this person enough to not, firebomb this whole fucking thing. Unlike her, I'm not going scorched earth and gossiping a bunch of bullshit to everybody by name so people know who to, stare at from the distance. I'm not gonna say the name of this person or disclose any details. The female situation, you know, he was sort of like a borderline hobo. That's weird. Yeah, it's like the gray area hobos. Like, they probably have a car somewhere and they probably maybe share a house with a guy who probably wants them out. So they're technically not homeless, but they're like, that they are like one speeding ticket away from being homeless. Or they're like one littering fine away from being homeless. They're like $5 away from being homeless. Mm. What was she gossiping about? I was sort of wondering that myself because like if she truthfully talked about what she saw in the video that I sent her and told her the actual details, like the crux of the video was me just going, dude, I feel like I'm accidentally making you angry and you must know that I can't socially intuit things. So just like tug on your earlobe or something. Just let me know because I really feel bad and I hate how you act offended whenever we have any conversation. And then when I ask what's wrong, you're like, no, it was all a joke. It was all a bit. Anyways, nothing's the matter. Bye. And I'm like, no, something was the matter, and something still is the matter. I actually want to communicate with you. And she thought of me as like the funniest person alive, and so that's what it became. It just became, us exchanging jokes. And I think the thing that I failed to emphasize in that video was just how awesome it was. Like literally, the times when we were just exchanging wisecracks while watching shitty movies, like no other circumstance would I ever watch the Garfield movie, ever. So, there was a lot that I had to gain from that, like, that's great, but at the same time, like, I wish that that could be balanced out with some honest communication because I do wanna know who she actually is beyond a bunch of stupid, like, jokey one-liners. So, unfortunately, me asking for that was apparently too fucking much to ask, but I certainly didn't help my case by basically my theory, and I've been thinking about this, my conspiracy theory, and of course, this is of no concern to anyone watching, but I mean, this is not really about her, this is about me. This is an internal problem. So, this is an issue with the same person that you've been watching these streams for so many years. So, maybe it is of concern to you if you care about me at all. So, I think that an attribute is I'm not normally scared of judgment as demonstrated by me eating fucking paper like an idiot on the internet, but with this particular person, whenever my feelings were involved and whenever I really if I had feelings for a person, it's really interesting because I was very scared of her judgment, especially because she's a very judgmental person. So she would like I would have very inoffensive conversations. I would inquire about something and she would basically attack me for it and I would have to go, what did I do? Is this a court hearing all of a sudden? All right, where's my defense attorney? I guess I'm representing myself. I just felt fucking completely in the dark, and that created this very odd dynamic where it was just her randomly attacking me and then joking around with me and then things being lighthearted, and at any moment it felt like it was gonna get real fucking serious. So, I was angry about that because I hated the fact that I was not as assertive as I normally am with everybody else, and Ian, you know about this, you know that my assertiveness is a defining character trait. Of course, it's my iconic character, but, hyperbole aside, like, that quality of mine, which is very important if I am to function, was absent with this person, and that really troubled me because it's almost like I was quite literally. I'm not going to say simping because that's strong language, but I was not meeting an appropriate middle ground with this person because I was scared of judgment, and two, I wanted to get along because I had feelings. And many other people would have continued that cycle forever, possibly years, but something within me really wanted to push her away even though I really had feelings for her. And I think that's a good thing. It just, in order to get out of a poisonous cycle like that, it really involves causing myself lots of pain and making what I would call at a certain point a mistake, because it really seemed like a mistake when I basically misrepresented how I felt. Because in that video, she really dedicated herself to the friendship. She really did, and that's all it was, by the way. It was a friendship, but and I don't think I recognized that enough in that video. It was also very inconsiderate because there were other circumstances surrounding this person's life that were like explicitly stated to me too, and I was fucking numbskulled, and I just didn't understand. And I was like, she was about to go on vacation. It was a big vacation, self-funded, like basically across the world. Very stressful too. Uh, funding an entire vacation, working for years. Like I don't even understand that. Like I could even be cognizant of that circumstance of her life, and I would just not. I still wouldn't get it. That's something that she was independent enough and responsible enough to do. And I just dumped a bunch of shit on her a month before she left. Now, a month, let me emphasize that. She had ample time to resolve it. She could have had a quick, like very quick convo that would have gone deep enough and I think things would have been fine. But it's with it really it takes two to tango, and she was not in a dancing mood, and she fucking completely ghosted me, which is the biggest mistake here. Like, sure, I was painfully earnest, and I think that I also gave her permission to basically cut me off because I said it like I remember saying, "I'm so frustrated with how I'm not assertive enough with you, and the reason that is because I have a crush on you. Let me get that out of the way right now. I have a crush on you, all right? I'm saying it on this private YouTube video that I'm sending to you. I have a crush on you." So, I said that to this person, and then I went, "If that's too awkward for you, then it's totally fine. We don't have to be friends anymore." But I still appreciate all the good times we've had, and that's the biggest hunk of bullshit I ever said in that video because nothing that I'm saying is technically incorrect, but it assumes that I have a lot of apathy towards the friendship when really I deep down I wanted to keep the friendship. But at the same time, another part of me wanted to push her away because I was so terrified. I truly was absolutely livid at the thought of her judgment. So I tried to pick both, and in doing so, I basically picked neither. I picked the worst option. I failed. And I'm like, I really hope you stay friends with me and that's why I'm going through the trouble of making in this video where I'm trying to tell you about, how the communication's not very good. But at the same time, in order to even get this conversation across or to even start this conversation, I'd have to break past some conversational filters. That's very awkward, especially for you as a person. So I'm scared of your judgment. Bye. Runs away, basically. That's what I was doing. I was running away when I was telling her, if you're not okay with this or if this is too weird for you, that the fact that I have a crush on you, as if that's fucking anything new when we're in our like early 20s. But I gave her permission and I shouldn't have done that. I feigned in case anyone here has below grade school level vocabulary. Feigned means faked. I put on this fake veil of apathy and I'm like, you don't need to be friends with me anymore. It's whatever. But it wasn't whatever. And that's my biggest mistake. So and I'm also saying this to myself, how old she were. I think she's going to be 20 pretty soon. I'm telling you personal details as if yeah, you basically want to make sure that I'm not, I don't have feelings for like what, a 2-year-old fetus. Yeah. Well, she is, I think she was 19 about 6 months ago. So, yeah, she's probably still 19 now. She's gonna be 20 soon, but don't worry, she's legal, Jesus. It's exactly what I'm doing, Brian. Okay. Thanks, Ian. Got freaking mood killer over here. But, yeah, I definitely also, we could have a conversation in private about it if you want, because I actually have mentioned this person on the live streams, and she's actually engaged with me on the live stream too, but yeah, if you wanna get more actual details about it, because I just don't wanna be public about it, but yeah, just hit me up privately, and probably tomorrow when I wake up at, like, 1 in the afternoon, I'll tell you, alright? What was I talking about before Ian started, playing the court prosecutor? I really relate to the situation. I like that thing that Ian said before, so, I'm okay, Brian. Just wanted to make sure she wasn't 7. Yeah, thanks, Ian. Hey, mind if I ask you every single person you dated, just making sure that they're not 5 years younger, because they're even if you're a minor, there's still a moral problem with that. I'm not gonna interrogate you even if you're bringing up a thing. This girl tonight was yelling at me. How old is she, huh? 32? Don't get statutorily raped, Ian. Let's know about every single life story of yours. I get it though. I'm just fucking around. All right. But speaking of fucking around, I fucked around and found out. Because like what I'm saying is that I'm totally willing to admit accountability. And I think the big thing here, and the reason why this decision was so hard to make, is I never bothered to hit her up and clarify those things. I hit her up many times, and it's all been just so awkward. It's all been these terrible, really bad things that have happened after the fact. Like I accidentally, and by the way, this video was unlisted on the good content channel. So if you know, I was kidding around too. Cool. Let's pin that message. That's very notable. But like, so many fucking terrible things happened. One of them was that if you're any of you are subscribed to good content, which you best be, um, if you were awake at 1 in the morning on a particular night, you might have seen a notification that went away in 2 seconds because um, I showed Dom and Emerald the video because I literally was like, "Is this even good? Is this a good thing that I just did?" And they both were like, "Yeah, it's not that bad." Dom didn't like the fact that I, confessed to having a crush, but honestly, I think that's the least of the issues in that video. And none of the issues are none of them are that bad, and the crush thing is the least of my worries in relative to that video. But the view count went up, and she's a very private person. And her seeing that I'm airing my dirty laundry out on an unlisted YouTube video that I claim is private but has 9 views, and that's what the number was at, 9 views. It didn't sit well with me, so I confirmed that she had probably watched it, then I privated the video. However, I backtracked and I'm like, wait a fucking minute. No, no, no. I want for her to refer back to the video because I'm sure her perspective will be quite sour at first, but just like a Sour Patch Kid, the sour might turn to sweet. But in order for that to happen, of course, it has to be back to unlisted so she can watch it again and refer back to it again, which is not true. People have conversations, and you can't replay a conversation in your head, but you certainly can have a perspective change about a conversation. That's normal. I mean, maybe with a YouTube video, you just intake the information and the words that are being said in a different way. I did get the notification for that vid. Yeah, I'm going to kill myself. That's great. I'm so glad. So anyways, I wanted to turn it from private to unlisted. However, I accidentally clicked the public button. And this is a symptom of me like doing shit at 1 in the morning. I need to just stop using my phone at 1 in the morning at this point, like honestly. So, I accidentally publicly published that stupid ass video for a solid 2 seconds, and I'm like, if I turn it from public to unlisted, that notification's not going away, and I will actually be gristle on a spit. I will be fucking cooked beyond recognition. So, it's like your one rule is not to backtrack and delete videos. No, actually, my one rule is not to backtrack and delete videos because I find them embarrassing. Like, truly and honestly, it's not about being cooked publicly. I don't care. I don't give a shit about any of you guys seeing the video. What I care is about her seeing that I publicly published a video in which it really helps my case to maintain its privacy, especially for her. Because I really did want to be in her good graces, even though the video in of itself was already a flawed attempt at that. I really fucked up there, but it certainly would have made it worse if it was published publicly. It'd probably be beyond gossiping towards, coworkers. I don't know. It might have been a fucking pink slip delivered on my door or something if it was publicly published. She freaks out at like very unconcerning, at least by my fucked up standards of internet interaction. That's why she's not on Instagram or anything like that. She's very just, mm, saying that as if you're not already. Yeah, I already addressed that, Blacker. I'm also nice to see you again. I'm really like how all the most epic people are showing up for this particular stream. When I get well, yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Like, especially the assertiveness thing. Like, it just there were particular exceptions I made for this person, and I hope that you know she doesn't know, of course, because this inner monologue that I'm having aloud onto the public internet. But this thing that I'm doing right now, it's really not something that she would understand, and I think she's unfollowed me everywhere. So there's there's no way she's gonna see this unless she's still creeping around, in which case, by the way, if you're gonna fucking tell me that I can't talk about this publicly, screw you. I'm not giving out your name or any personal information that isn't a double-digit number that, statistically speaking, I think 2 million people, actually, no, like hundreds of millions of people are that same age, so it's, like, not even a personal information thing. I'm not giving your iPhone passcode out, alright? Get out of here. So, I can air out my grievances. Also, the paper stream is very therapeutic. That's why I'm doing it. It's not really about eating paper. It's about talking honestly about my life. So, wait, I'm epic? Damn straight, as if you didn't get the memo before. You've been in these streams before many times, and I've told you that you're epic and you're awesome sauce. I can't believe I used a Caden word. See, this is what happens when you randomly associate. It's just like filtered its way in. But yeah, you're awesome sauce. Sure, I'll say it. Give a fuck. You guys keep distracting me. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, right. Um, Yeah, no, that happened, and then I accidentally liked the TikTok of one of her friends because, like, one of her friends, and I think that it's a guy who's her coworker who has been caught in so many awkward interactions. I actually talked to him about like the lady situation. There you go, very close. You didn't hear shit. Thank you. um, about the female situation, and he's tied in with her. He really is. So he immediately goes and he fucking talks to her about it. And I think I saw what I believe to be his TikTok account because I was literally just scrolling and tapping and looking at comments and stuff. Which at that point I shouldn't have been like I don't know, I still liked her. So like I was just checking out her stuff. And I saw that this guy's account had these drawings, and these drawings looked really fucking good. And I'm like, I just like the line work. So I was just like looking at these drawings, and I'm like going back, and I'm like, oh my god, is that a dragon? Oh my god, that knight's armor is so realistic. And I literally just accidentally liked one of the fucking things, and and I guarantee you he probably, because my TikTok account is my name, the stupid picture of me with the fucking hair and people's hands and the hair. It's very recognizable. They know it's me. It's not even it's no disguise. So people, he probably told her immediately that it was me. So that made me look worse. Then I was drunk recently, and I was in the good graces of a bunch of Pizza Port regulars, and I wanted gelato, and I really just wanted to, you know, and this particular person works over there, not anymore. I mean, I said that she altered her work schedule to get away from me, and you guys already know I work at Pizza Port. So she works at a particular place that is near Pizza Port that has a particular food. How am I going to do this? How am I going to thread the needle on this one? I already said it, but I don't even. I'm going to try to. This is not even that big of a deal, but I'm trying to exercise restraint. It's a good life skill. So just give me a second. Yeah, this person, she's a female, works at a company that makes a particular food item, a dessert adjacent food item, a cold dessert. Yes, correct, correct. Hey, we're getting there. Good job, you passed the test. But um, I was drunk. Another guy was drunk, and this was. Oh, dude, there's a whole other story that happened that night where a girl with Down syndrome basically asked me if, I wanted to date her, and I was like, "Oh, she seems really nice," and I realized, wait a minute, she's been here for, like, 2 years or so. Like, this was a down girl with Down syndrome who has been in Pizza Port, and I've worked here for a while, and I talked to her dad, and her dad's like, "Yeah, my daughter, who has Down syndrome, has been working up the courage to ask you out on a date for, like, 2 years." I immediately had to ask, "How old are you?" And she was like, "16," and I'm like, "Nope, that can't happen, sorry." And, I had to draw a hard line, but then I felt so bad because I literally broke her heart, and there was nothing that I could do, but she walked into the bathroom to take a bathroom break multiple times, and the door to the female bathroom is broken, and so I heard her very loud, like, with extra reverb, mind you, her sobbing, and, that reminded me of this situation because there's nothing that this poor girl could do about, anticipating and having feelings for somebody, and, you know I think it's because she has Down syndrome and she doesn't have the restraint that a normal person does, but she said, "I've had fantasies about marrying you," and I'm like, "Well, you can marry you're gonna get over me within, like, a month probably, and you're gonna find someone else." And the way her dad reacted, I'm not the first one. She's probably had some weird marriage fantasy about other people too, but it made me think about this situation I'm having with this particular person. So, I already had a little bit of this blueberry muffin ale, which tastes way better than it sounds, by the way. Um, and I just wanted a scoop of gelato. I just wanted a scoop. Because I had a sweet tooth at that moment. So I was like, "You get me a scoop?" And then I proceeded to tell this guy my whole fucking life story. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I had a crush on this girl and I fucked it up real bad. I was pretty immature, but she was also really immature. Anyways, don't say any of that when you're there, but just you can say that it's for me, but just don't say anything about the crush stuff." And I offered him some money so he could pay for it. And he's like, "No, I will not take your cash. I'll go anyways." Part of my burp. So he walked right over there immediately. He was there for like 3 minutes, which is not normal. There was no line there at that time. So I don't know what the hell he was doing for 3 minutes. Really, really bad sign. And the whole time I'm like, "Oh my God, what the fuck is going on?" And he came back and he basically gave me no information. He was just joking and like, "Dude, I thought you had a crush on that guy." So I started flirting with him. And I'm like, "Really?" And he was like, "No." And he refused to actually tell me what was really going on. He could have totally been like, "Yeah, Busser told me to talk to you. Can I have a scoop of panna cotta?" And like, he could have easily done that. That would have been that would have been bad. But I don't it's possible, it's highly possible he didn't do that. So I don't know. Um But that was the last time, she was working at the same time as I was, and then she got her schedule switched, so possible correlation? Whoops, I didn't mean to do anything. Coulda took his time to mess with you. Exactly, yeah, and I'm stupid as hell, so it's, like, easy to do that. So, thanks, random drunk circular guy who fucked everything up, or didn't. I mean, I already fucked it, so it's like, whatever. And to be fair, things would have been unsodomized if this person had decided to take literally 2 minutes to have a mature conversation, but she is not mature enough to do that, and that means that she's not the type of person who I'm gonna invest time in, because I actually spent time trying to communicate with her, not perfectly, and I basically gave her permission to run away, and in doing so, I was running away myself. But I've done this with people before. I'm not perfect. And when I've done it with them, you know, a lot of them just man up or woman up, adult person up, talk with me about it. It's resolved in literally 2 minutes. So, she turned the tiniest molehill into Mount Everest. So, that's my position. And I still am willing to take accountability for not being perfect. And I've already done that. I would like the favor to be returned, but I don't think that's happening because she can't even have a basic conversation. So, good fucking luck. Good fucking luck, madame. Have fun having very incomplete, non-communicative relationships with people. Sounds fun to me. So that's my combination of being assertive and accountable. Because we got to be truthful and acknowledge where we screwed up. I'm certainly not perfect, and I was very dishonest emotionally with this person, and I was trying to emotionally run away because I was scared of her judgment. But at the same time, I don't deserve the vitriol that came to me in return. So, how about that? Life's unfair on all sides. Can't believe we ate up an entire second live stream to this bullshit. So, what can I say? It consumes me. So, sorry, you guys are going to be hearing about it for a little bit, but thanks for listening. It's cool that we got some new people. It was mainly just Messathula who got a big earful of it last time. So now it's everybody else who's listening to this shit. Thanks, Black Rum. Everybody else already left. You're the only viewer left. To be fair, when I was just describing miscellaneous shit that happened after effect, that was kind of an epilogue. It's just miscellaneous anxieties of mine, but it's not really as important as the meat of it. So everybody heard the meat of it, and it's kind of like, yeah. No one seems to be disagreeing with me saying, listen, I screwed up, but my screw ups are minuscule compared to her screw up of refusing to even resolve my minor screw ups by having a simple conversation. Like that thesis of mine, which is quite a mouthful, but I think it's still pretty simple to understand. Like, I'm really not the one who's mainly at fault here. Like, I'm sorry. I'm just not. I'm just not. I have some fault to take. I have some blame to take in this, but most of it's not mine. It's hers. Mm. And yeah, people seem to be on the same page. So I'm not insane. I'm not crazy. Cool, cool, cool. Love that. Love you. Yeah, she amplified it. Thank you. Thank you. God bless. How about now that Ian's gone, I'm sure he won't be offended. Let's replace that message. Hell yeah. For those of you who are watching this back, any particular people who is this person or tied to this person, I never mentioned this person by name. No specific incriminating personal details were ever disclosed publicly. You can watch back all 35 minutes and you will find nothing. I disclosed workplace. I have already disclosed my workplace and I've already talked very favorably about this person relative to the place. That's not specific enough. And I've also talked about this person's age because I got interrogated by a fucking prosecutor in the middle of my stream. Thanks, Ian, for nothing. So that's it. I am valuing your privacy, and despite the fact that you've made my work life hell and you've completely fucked me over in many ways, and a lot of this is your fault, I am still respecting your privacy. So keep that in mind. Fuck you. I think you guys can tell how frustrating the situation is. Like, I really tried. I really tried to communicate openly in a flawed way, but like, if it's just it's so disproportionate. It's like I'm like getting punished for trying to be open and communicative. Imagine getting punished for trying to be more communicative and more honest. Jesus. Doesn't that sound frustrating? Yeah, I know. All right, tell me about it. Anyways, last piece. Well, my day, I'm gonna actually change my score. It's like a 7.2. Oh man, that felt good. All right. A lot more resolute than the last stream. Hell yes, we like that. This piece is way too big. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Communication is what keeps a relationship, and just running away from communication is just a red flag. That's the shit. That's the fucking shit we're looking for. Black Rum, you're like more mature than most 50-year-old men I know. Who would have known that a friend of Owen, of all people, could be so fucking based? Thank you. Thank you, Black Rum. Hell yes. That's what we're looking for here at the paper stream. Anytime. Jesus. Thank you, man. Cheers to you. Quite the character arc I've seen you go through, man. I only saw you as Owen's lackey when I first met you. And now you're so much more, man. Okay, last piece. I'm just postponing. I'm just like dragging the time out because this is a big one. It's going to be painful. But 3, 2, 1. The end. Thank you guys so much for watching Eating a Sheet of Paper a Day. Day 771. Make sure to live, laugh, cry, and also not die. And until next time, this is goodbye. And until next time, this is goodbye. I said the same thing twice. And for the third time, goodbye. What the hell was that? There you go. Get a good rest. Thank you.